So I'm kind of just making this because I don't think anyone in the world cares but me, but Brittany Broski has made a new single. This is her attempt at making a YouTube music career, just like the other ones. Now, there's been a little bit of reception to it already, but for the most part, I don't think this is popular enough to talk about on a main channel. So I just wanted to talk about it here because I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm busy with other stuff. I'm busy with other videos. So for context, I don't really know Brittany Broski as well. I don't have enough knowledge of her to even have a bias of her. She actually kind of reminds me of Drewski, Drewski. They're both people that got popular off viral videos, and they're not exactly celebrities, but they're really, really networked. I don't know how to explain it. I wouldn't consider Brittany Broski a celebrity, but she has enough pull as a personality to get like Charlie XCX in a video. So when I see a YouTuber like Brittany Broski make a music video and try to push a music career now, I have some thoughts running through my head. Obviously, the first thing is YouTube music career. There have never been 3 words more horrifying than YouTube music career. The only way Joji was able to have a music career was by leaving YouTube. You can't just have one and the other. You gotta choose one, so far it seems. But I went to her podcast and she actually did talk about the making of this new song she's pushing out. And by the new song she was pushing out, I mean the Harry Styles cover she did. And I did listen to the Harry Styles cover, but I don't remember it. I don't even remember the name. So is that my review? I don't want it to be, but it's at least my first impression. Or 24 hours after my first impression. But in her podcast, she talked about how much time she was investing into a music career and how much she wanted to do this and how much fun it was, all of these things. And Going to the Sun, it does sound very well produced. Brittany Broski's vocals are actually very, very impressive. I didn't know she had it in her. I didn't know she could do that. So I would call her first single impressive, but at the same time, it also... When you're releasing a debut single, you want to release something that says, okay, this is my career. This is what I want to represent myself as a career. And obviously the trajectory of your career changes over time if you last long enough. But at least when you're starting a debut, you want to give a huge first impression. And Brittany Broski's song sounds huge, but I don't get much of an impression. The reason I don't have much of an impression of her is just because I don't know what she's establishing herself as. Because I look at her main channel and it hasn't been uploaded in 9 months, so I go to the Broski Report and it looks like this 1950s, 60s news station. And then I go to her other channel, Royal Court, where it's this half D&D role play, but it's also a talk show because you got celebrities on it and you're interviewing them. And then I go to her website, which is really just her store. It feels like I'm in a gift shop in Gatlinburg. But when I go to Brittany Broski Music and I look at her visualizers for the songs she has so far, it's very softly lit. It's made to look like a Renaissance painting. Her music career has a completely different aesthetic from every other aesthetic she has. And she has 4 different aesthetics going on at the same time. And I don't mean styles. When I think of a style, I think of Brittany Broski's personality. I think of her personality as her style. She has a specific comedic style. But in terms of how that style is presented through aesthetics, there's 4 different ones going on at the same time. But at the same time, when I look at Brittany Broski's music career, it does kind of clash with her main channel and just what she does mainly. Because she's a comedic personality, but then you go to the music career and all of that irony is stripped away and you have to take it 100% seriously when you've known this person to be funny this entire time. And I just think it's really difficult to immediately adjust to that initially. At least part of the narrative is oh, here's this woman that did the kaboom video, but now she's this really talented musician and songwriter and this and that. I think she writes her songs. It's like a clown that turned into ash and thus a phoenix came out of the clown ashes. But also not really, because she still has the clown personality on these other channels. It's just this specific music career in the corner right now that's oh, take this seriously, take nothing else I do seriously. I can't believe it, but I actually have to give a compliment about Dream's music career. When Dream did his music career, the branding was around Dream. It oddly enough had a pretty easy translation from his YouTube career to his music career because it was still Dream. And I think Dream actually did a pretty good job at reflecting his personality in his music. The only problem is that he has no personality, so there was no interesting things about the music, but I feel like there's just as much weight in not knowing what what the personality is of a person when they're doing music. If I summarize Brittany Broski's music career so far in one word, it's just serious. This is the serious thing I'm doing, and look how serious it all is. I'm not smiling, the lighting is dramatic, look at the log lighting. The music video's in 4K, and the ratio is in 4:3, so that way you know it's cinematic. My webcam's in 4:3. I can't actually control that though. This isn't even an aesthetic choice. My webcam's just shitty. Like, in the same way I compared Brittany Broski to Drewski, I feel like this is like if Drewski had like a serious rap career. And even then, it wouldn't be as weird if Drewski had a rap career because he already kind of hangs with hip-hop culture, but, well, like, what kind of genre is Brittany Broski doing? Like, Golden Buzzer, America's Got Talent music? But I noticed she kind of engages a lot with drag culture and having an interview with Charlie XCX, at least in her thumbnails. So I would have thought based off that she could have gone more in like a dance direction. I also have to read this off her Spotify bio. So, Brittany Broski is known as a prolific creator, podcaster, and presence across culture. Presence across culture, what does that mean? However, the best way to really get to know this Renaissance woman is through her music. Again, Renaissance woman, I look at these music videos, I think that, as a kid in Texas, she initially cultivated her appreciation for music in church. Meanwhile, Brittany gravitated towards influences as diverse as One Direction and the Beatles, going on to discover Hoser and Florence the Machine in high school. I don't think I need to tell you the range between a white British boy band in the 60s and a white British boy band in the 2010s. Don't get me wrong, the Beatles are the Beatles, but at the same time, that's the thing, like, everyone is influenced by them somehow, one way or another. But my main thing is, I see the same issues in Brittany Broski's music career so far based off 2 songs that I saw in Dream's music career, which this feels like she's trying to push herself into an even more mainstream territory. But in order to do that, you have to make music that stands out above everyone else. And I think she's had one of the more successful attempts, just like from the quality of her actual music, because it's not rage bait like KSI, but it's also just not complete shit. I mean, there's some lyrics I heard like, oh, you turn my water into wine, like some Jesus metaphor. I don't know, Brittany Broski in general kind of confuses me, but this move towards her music career also confuses me. I don't hear any discernible influence, except this is just trying to be pop, and to me that feels more like a business decision to be a celebrity rather than an actual choice in music. But at the same time, she does have like a really impressive voice. If she says she took like 5 years to make this music career happen, I wouldn't be surprised if she just spent 5 years training her vocals over and over and over. You got an interview with Charlie XCX, maybe you can like get a producer of a producer from her, I don't know. But yeah, this wasn't enough to like make a whole video about, but I couldn't get it out of my head, so I just had to it out. That I'm barely gonna edit any of this. Okay.